How do you make sure every employee certification stays fair and fraud-free? Tenneo's AI proctoring system makes it possible with smart monitoring, real-time security, total integrity. In this webinar, you'll see how our AI proctoring works, what features keep your tests secure, how leading industries protect trust and talent every time. Let's watch the webinar now.
So what exactly is proctoring? What is it? In simple terms, proctoring is the process of monitoring candidates during an examination to ensure fairness and prevent malpractices. With remote learning becoming more common, proctoring has evolved from being a manual in-person process to a smart tech-enabled one, and that's exactly what we are bringing to you via Tenneo. So we believe that there are certain industries which are very heavy on compliances, which requires added layer of security when it comes to their strategic examinations. So this is why we have incorporated this solution along with our LMS. The industries that we are talking about, we believe BFSI, manufacturing. These are the segments which are requiring this particular feature a lot more. So this is why we have brought this to us. So there are multiple level of proctoring that we have for you to actually consume. We are offering you actually three types of proctoring. Number one would be the live proctoring, wherein a live proctor will be monitoring the learner in the real time. So for an example, I am the proctor and today all of you are the learners or employees who are going to give the assessment. So I'll be doing this. There are two ways of doing this proctoring, live proctoring, by the way. Number one would be one-way proctoring, wherein I have, all of my employees, all of my learners who are giving the examination. So basically examinees they have their cameras open and they are being proctored. And remotely, I am, sitting at some certain location and proctoring them live from the camera and using the microphone, using the devices. The second way is two-way proctoring, wherein my camera as a proctor and my microphone as well will be, on. The access of it will be on, wherein the learners can also see that, proctor is actually observing them. So this is a two-way proctoring that we have to offer. Then we have auto proctoring option where AI monitors the learner behavior and flags suspicion activities. What do we mean by that? There are certain activities against which, certain logics against which we have created rules within the solution. So anytime if I'll be looking, away from the camera, or I am trying to look down, maybe, I have a book under the table, or I am trying to talk to somebody, or somebody else sitting on the other side of the table is helping me with the answers. So here, this is where your AI proctoring will come into place, wherein you, anytime if there is, any kind of object which is detected, any kind of interference which is detected, the solution, the AI piece will raise a flag automatically, and you'll be able to see that as a proctor in the dashboard, which we are going to see towards the next leg of our demonstration. Then we have a provision of record and review, wherein every time an assessment is going on, let's assume the duration of this assessment is say about 30 minutes. And once this is happening while the assessment is in progress, the admin or the proctor will be able to see the live feed of the examination that is going on, wherein every few seconds, every few minutes, the image of the examinee will be captured and kept in the repository. Similarly, the video feed will also be getting uploaded in the repository in chunks because the assessment is still in the progress. So as soon as you move away from the screen, once you're done with the assessment, the platform gives you a pop-up that stay on the same page for a minute or two, because the video is still being uploaded. Once that is done, you can close the tab. So these records, these are uploaded in the database, which is very easily accessible to the proctor. Once the assessment is done, they can also visit and see these recordings, and they can do their analysis basis that and take the necessary actions accordingly. So these are the ways by which the proctoring can be done in a platform. Couple of features I would want to talk about, which are related to the security of this solution. As soon as the assessment starts, you as an examinee will be given a prompt on the screen that, first of all, in case if it is in the minimized way, minimized mode, it will automatically force full screen. So this is how it will happen. Then there's a detection of external monitor. There's blacklisting of screen sharing softwares. In case if you have any such tool downloaded in your platform, in your machine, in your device, then you have detecting functional webcam and audio. So of course there will be certain pre-checks that we will be looking into that the solution, the tool performs before you even start the assessment. Then there's a voice modulation detection. There's a voice detection in case if there's, like I said, another person or another phone in the room, any object in the room, so that we will be able to. There's also a mechanism of geotagging that as a proctor, at any point in the live feed, in the live screen where hundreds of people are giving the examination, you can just click on one person that you are suspicious of, and you can actually go and see the location of this person. So these are the ways by which you can actually make sure that the person who this examination is meant for is actually giving this exam. How will you validate is that because you will be able to see the location of this person, you will be able to see the image of this person, you will be able to, and make a comparison, you will be able to see the video of this person. So all of these features are part of the security. In terms of integrity assurance, there are these features that is a part of the solution. The tool will help you to do the face detection. So as soon as the assessment starts, let's assume that my assessment starts at 4 p.m. today. There will be a list of instructions that will be sent across to each of the learners. This will be very well present within the LMS screen itself. All of you are using this platform. You know that there is a play button against all the courses or trainings that you have been assigned. Once an assessment is assigned to you, you go to the LMS screen and you go to the play button. What all activities will be done from there on? First thing first, the camera will automatically switch on. It will take a picture of mine. It will also take a video of mine and see in the real time. So this is how they'll be doing the face detection. In case if there is another person in the room and you could only see this little bit part of his either body or his face, so there will be an alert. All of this we are going to see live as well, but I just want to cover this as a features. So in case if there's another person's shoulder in the frame of the camera, if there is another person's face in the frame of the camera, if there is a cell phone which is detected, and if I'm using a cell phone while giving an assessment, so AI will detect that too and will raise a flag again and again that you are referring to a reading material, or you are using your phone this time, or there is another person present in the room. So the warning will appear on the screen, asking you to and forcing you to come and focus back onto the assessment. Additional to this, there is another, next step that we are working towards is that we can also provide you multiple device proctoring. What do I mean by that? When any examinee gives an examination, they'll be using one system, which is their laptop or desktop, depends on the setting. Now, what happens with the multiple device proctoring is that you will also be placing your mobile phone on your left or on your right on the table or a tripod. There are certain use cases like especially we have seen in the BFSI domain and academics that wherein you require to make sure that people who are working in the leadership roles, people who are who are to be evaluated on their very specific expert level skills, they are to perform, they are to undergo certain rigid compliances and assessments and evaluation. So this is wherein we have seen that use case of multiple device proctoring has come in, wherein a mobile phone will be placed on the left or on the right. These instructions will also be part of the instruction that you get before starting of the assessment. Your mobile camera will also get enabled, and anytime you are making a movement, or if you have something under the table, or you're trying to, like I said, there is a laptop and behind the screen there is a, maybe a book, or I have pasted a paper writing the answers or anything like that. It is going to help you to, do that detection. It is going to help you to also do a pre-check. So like for an example, in the instruction you can also include an instruction that please join the assessment 15 minutes before the start time, so that we can run the pre-checks. Show us a 360-degree view of the room. It's not possible, it's not feasible for me to pick up this laptop and turn it around like this. Even if I do, what about the behind of the laptop screen? So this is where you have your mobile phone proctoring available, wherein you get to give the access of not only your front camera in the mobile phone, but also on the back camera. So while I am sitting over here, I can also show across the room and ensure the sanctity of this examination. So this is what the features are about. These are the pre-checks that we run before starting any assessment. There are camera access checks which will happen. A live video feed is previewed to ensure, like I just mentioned, proper lighting, clear visibility. If there's a this room has a dull lighting, dim lighting, the prompt will tell me that adjust the lighting of the room, or adjust the seat, the place you are seated at. So these are kind of instructions will be given. Additionally, microphone access check is done. So the tool checks for an active and functioning microphone, obviously, but also, it makes sure that there is no other sound which is coming, and does also help with the noise cancellation. So this is available. Then there is a screen recording pre-check that we run before this happens, wherein, and system requires permission to record or monitor the candidate screen. So it gives you a pop-up on the screen that from here on, we are going to start the assessment. Now, two additional things which I wanted to talk about. There are two ways to run these proctored assessment. Number one is in your regular browser, just like this, while we are on a virtual call. So similarly, I'll just, open my LMS on the next tab. I'll go to the assessment. I'll start, working on it. It will just ask me the permission of my camera and my microphone. As soon as I click on play, my camera will start and I can start with the assessment. The second way to go about it is the secure browser mode or a lockdown browser mode. So we have that also available, wherein as soon as you are clicking on the assessment play button, a pop-up will come on the screen, informing you that all the other applications, tabs, tools, recording tools, etc., will be killed. And then your assessment opens in the secure browser mode. You are asked to enter your credentials once again there, and that is when you start your assessment. So we have both the provisions available. Now the challenge is that if I would want an attempt to show you the secure browser mode, what will happen is this call will drop off. So we will not be able to do that with you, but we are, after this session, we are surely going to send across a recording of it, that how this works on a secure browser mode. Because, like I just said, so we won't be able to showcase that. We will jump on to the demonstration as well. Just a moment. For the proctor, in any organization, any person who is observing the role of a proctor, they will be able to refer to the dashboard. They will be able to refer to the live feed, where people are being observed. They will be able to see the periodic image capture, the recordings anytime, even after the completion of examination. If I want to request the location of a certain person, I'll just go ahead and click on geotagging option. I'll be able to see that too, and your examination start and end date time. So these are the data or analytics pieces that you get after the proctoring is done. Now we will quickly jump onto the proctoring. Just allow me a minute, please. So far, meanwhile, I'm logging on to the platform. Any questions that you have for me? All right. So now we have logged into the screen as a learner. This is how it's going to look like at the employee's side, employee's end. As soon as I click on
Hi,
the
hi Simran. I'm so
hi,
sorry to
yes,
interrupt in
no
between.
problem at
I
all.
think there are
Yeah.
some basic questions which are there on the chat. I understand that you've blocked last 10 minutes for the questions,
Sure.
but there's a
Okay.
merit if some of these questions get answered right now, because when we lose the track, we would not know what topic we discussed when.
Oh,
So
absolutely, absolutely.
please
That's a
see
very
if
good
somebody can
proposition.
track. Yeah, please see if
Yeah,
somebody can track and give us an update. Thanks.
sure. All right. So let's take up these questions first. In which version do we have proctoring feature? Proctoring feature will be available from our version 8.4 onwards. So this is where you can see it. Next is all using Alt Tab. I couldn't understand that, Preeti. If you can clarify, if you can come in and clarify that.
So Simran, what I meant was that, when you mentioned that the person is observed and all that. So most of the times, like you mentioned just now, that every other website will be killed automatically,
Hmm,
right? So that
hmm,
is the same thing I was because I was thinking
hmm,
ahead, and that, if
hmm,
you have that option of all tab, like people do that,
hmm.
right? They go, I
Yes,
mean,
they do.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So
So yeah, so there is a provision for that too. Just like I said, in case if we want to refrain people to do such malpractices, in that
hmm,
case we will create those important assessment in the lockdown browser mode.
sure.
So just to ensure, yeah.
Okay.
Next is thank you. Next is external data source connection also recorded by the system. This is from Amol. Amol, if you could please come in and help me understand this. Screen recording, screenshots disabled option is
Yes,
available or
Simran.
not?
Hi, good
It is
afternoon.
available. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Good afternoon. Yes, you are. Yes.
Basically, there are people who use
Hmm,
HDMI cable or additional screen or
hmm,
mirroring, screen mirroring.
hmm,
Okay.
hmm.
So, will the hardware detect that or the software detect that are there any external hardwares which are being connected like pen drive or HDMI or any other source? And will that be captured in the report which is generated at the end of the assessment, which will be shared with the user to further check and then evaluate whether the person has given that assessment correctly or not, or what is how will the report be. You can, if you can share that format also or the sample report, then it will be useful.
Sure. Sure, Amol, we can do that. So yeah, to answer to your question, this is more of the response that we just now discussed, wherein if you are doing this in a secured browser mode, there will be no chance of people to uh, switch on to other screen or use certain hidden tools that that can help them to cheat. So in that case, I mean, like I said, I can also right now show it to you, but the problem is that the minute I'll click on the play button, the call will drop off because or like my conferencing tool will also close off. So what we can do is that we can provide you a recording of this towards the end of the session. And yes, you have this mechanism in place that you can restrict your user not to look anywhere else and not to go out of the assessment screen or out of the LMS to any other page. So you can have those restrictions in place. I hope that answers.
If I understood rightly, there is another part of the question which we wanted to clarify. I think it's for my understanding also, is
Okay.
if I'm connected to a second screen,
Hmm.
okay, and my first screen, the laptop which I'm using, is on
Hmm.
secure browser mode,
Okay. Hmm.
but still I'll be able to connect to the second screen, click pictures of my second screen.
Hmm.
How is your proctoring system going to handle it?
Okay. So you, if you can help me, help me paint a picture here. So for an example, I am giving my assessment in this particular machine. What you are saying is that if I have another laptop or a device, maybe a maybe a tab placed next to the laptop, right? And this one is happening in the secured browser mode. what I can access right over here. For me to access any other device, to like look at any other screen, I'll have to move my gaze from away from the laptop, right? I'll either have to look down or I have to look rightwards or leftwards. This is where in the AI comes, plays the most pivotal role, wherein every time I will be looking anywhere other than the screen, those screenshots will be raised as a flag in the dashboard. So now towards the end of the assessment, you can just go to the report and see that against, let's assume 50 people had joined and they were doing this assessment, you will see that there are 10 people out of 50 against whom there are about 30 flags raised, that this person was looking away from the screen 30 times. That raises a suspicion basis which you can decide on canceling their exam or asking them to redo it once again. So that is done. And second way, if it is that critical of an examination where we have to make sure that there are no leakages at all, so like I suggested, just ask your learner to have you just go ahead for the multiple device proctoring, wherein you have this in place and you are asking them to place the other camera or some at a certain distance. You can decide on that, you place it in a place or a table or a position or a back of the wall, wherein I get a 360 180-degree view of the room. So this is how you can ensure it.
Right, but
Yeah.
however, the challenge in real scenarios is
Mhm.
most of the candidates or employees, when they give the assessment, they have the habit of putting their head down. Some of them put the pen on their lips and then they start thinking. So when I'm thinking, my head is up, I'm not looking at the screen. And when I'm doing some calculation which might be required, my head is down towards the paper, it's not looking on the screen. So your system, out of the 50 candidates, 45 candidates, it will give a flag off,
Mhm.
which is genuine or not genuine to do assessment, it'll take a long time.
Mhm.
Practically, when giving assessment, it's very difficult for a candidate to be looking only at a screen.
I think this is, you are right, because you are actually quoting this example from the real life examples that you are seeing around us. But myself have given certain examinations, maybe maybe done examinations which are highly competitive in nature or from a certain IIM or IIM level of colleges, etc. They do certain certification courses. They are very clear about the fact. Now, there is also a provision wherein if you are not following the instructions, your assessment will automatically log out. It will stop. So we do not have that feature as of now, but it is in the roadmap for sure. But you will automatically be dropped off. So you need to, as an employee, as an examinee, you need to understand what is the importance of this, how critical it is for me not to try to, cheat in these examinations. So it can be controlled by educating your examinees more and more about it, and to by imposing these kind of restrictions like a secure browser, multiple devices in the room. Still, if a person manages to cheat, in that case, this is where I think the manual intervention will come into place, wherein you are seeing 40 flags raised against these 10 people. You can go through the recordings also and make sure that okay, whether this person was actually cheating or not, or he was genuinely taking a sneeze or rubbing his nose or like looking elsewhere, etc. So you can take a call from there onwards. But at least how we used to do it traditionally was that one person, one proctor, two-way proctoring, wherein one person who is a proctor is sitting and observing, and there are so many small inserts onto the screen, small tiles, and so many people, but the accuracy was off. But now with AI coming into the picture, the combination of both will, help you to mitigate through this particular challenge. Accuracy, will be much more improved. Yeah.
Got that.
Okay. Next is, can this be used on phone as well? This is from Preeti. Yes, Preeti, this can be used on the phone as well. The next question is from Rajat. Will all those screenshots taken by AI be sent to admin over the email? No, they will not be sent to the admin over the email because we have not received any such use case. But if this is something which you think is required, we can definitely incorporate that as well. Coming back to whether these screenshots are, whether sent on the email or not, it's not sent, but it's just one click away. It's always available at the admin end. So in the repository, which we can, you just have to log in using your credentials on the proctoring dashboard. It's a three clicks away. You can see all the screenshots of the candidate. I believe you also have a follow-up question, Rajat.
Yes. On this,
Yes.
I have a
Yeah.
follow-up question. So
Yeah.
I understand that we have proctoring feature, right? But
Yeah.
unless a trigger or a call out or maybe some sort of a trigger system should give to the admin that okay, in Proctor AI found XYZ observations, right? Would we have some sort of a summary going out to the admin, or would admin have to proactively look into that if there are those triggers or something that are available in the system? How does that work?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. Again, this is a good suggestion which we can again incorporate. But it is the latter that you just mentioned, wherein admin has to, also manually then, participate and see and make the observations basis the flags that's been raised by the AI. So it will go hand in hand. I hope that answers.
So if I understand you correctly, you are saying that there would be system would be capturing those flags and would keep it in the
Yes,
repository. It's a
right.
then admin has to review those screenshots and decide
And
whether to pass or
yeah,
okay.
right. So admin, this is exactly how it is done. Just a little tad bit of change here is that AI will raise the flag in the real time. At this real time, Proctor can also be raising flags and sending it across directly to the learner. Let's assume this is the assessment which is going on in a Proctor environment. I Tanu is having her, let's say, camera. All of us have our camera and microphone on, and I see that Tanu and Ashmita, for an example, are looking here and there, or they are one of them are using a phone and another person is continuously looking to on her left side. AI will tell you that this person is doing this. Additionally, you as a proctor have a live option there to write a comment and ask Ashmita or Tanu that, hi Ashmita, please look at the screen. This is your warning one. So you can give a warning there, there and then itself. Along with the AI, you can do a manual, intervention as well. So this is how you'll be handling it.
So but for that a proctor has to be available live, right? Basically
Oh,
somebody has
yeah.
to do the background work on the same at the same time.
So you can have combination of all, or you can have, just one. So like I said, if you are, it is an important examination for you, but it's not a high stake examination. For an example, you can let the AI handle. Wherein it will raise flags. People are, doing the assessment in the designated time. Later on, as a proctor, I log in. I see, okay, out of these 50 people, these 5 people are against whom the flags are raised. I'll just go and refer to the recording and come back and make my evaluation, make my next steps accordingly. This is one way. Second is that you are available there live. You're present there as a proctor along with the AI. Third is I can also unmute myself and get on a camera, like I said, and say that, Ashmita, this is a second warning, this is a third warning which we are giving to
Got
you,
it.
amongst the others. So I think this is a foolproof way, at the extent by which you can go ahead as a proctor from a very distant location and, carry on with this, continue with this. So this is,
And
I hope.
I'm sorry, I have one more question on those lines.
Yeah.
And I'm piggybacking on I think who somebody asked that question that for an example, and it was a valid observation that sometimes people look up, sometimes people look down. Not necessarily they are cheating, but there can be reasons because probably in the assessment we have given a manual exercise. Okay, I'm
Okay.
only thinking from you as the feature provider that in such a case while we would have those kind of manual interventions needed by the participants to do the, let's say if I'm rolling out the Excel assessment for which some manual calculation is needed, person is bound to look down and do the
Hmm.
calculation maybe somewhere else. So
Hmm.
in such a case, do you recommend such sort of assessments should not be facilitated, on the proctor based assessment? We can randomly do it. What is your recommendation as a service provider?
Right. So this is a very good question actually. So yeah, in case if you have a certain topic or aspect on which you want to evaluate your employees on, and it requires some kind of a physical movement activity, be it recording a pitch or anything, or making making notes or doing a mathematical calculation, you we still recommend those this particular solution, because in that case you would understand, you just within the same LMS, if you're going ahead with the proctoring solution, this tool, if you would want to utilize for your employees, you can very well, as an admin or as an L&D or as a department head, decide that which examination is of what nature. And you can have a combination of both, wherein if you have a assessment in place for which your employee requires to do the calculation, in that case you just launch it as it was, like we have been doing it in our current versions. So you need not use the proctoring solution there. So you have on the admin page, you on the assessment, when you are creating an assessment, you can decide there itself that which one is going to be the proctored one and which is going to be the non-proctored one. So yeah, your accuracy will be off if your employees need to do a calculation. In that case, you can take an exception, or otherwise, you will have to go through the recording and then decide on whether this was okay for them to look elsewhere for such a long time. So I would suggest personally that this particular case, just launch a assessment without a proctoring function enabled. And for the other high stake examination, go ahead with the proctoring. Yeah.
Can the assessment be a combination of both types of questions, proctored one and non-proctored one?
No, that is not
Okay,
possible.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Next is, please let us know about one of the use case scenario where two or more employees are giving the assessment from the same location or a room. Okay. So again, so I believe, in case if let's assume there's a boardroom in your office, or a certain location wherein you would want your employees to sit together, next to each other and do this assessment. Again, the severity of it, how critical of this, critical importance of this examination, this evaluation is for you to decide as an organization. If you are uncomfortable having all of them sit next to each other and go ahead with this, you can do that. There, AI will also help you to raise flag. You can also make the observation. But yes, you have to lay down these instructions, very strongly before the examination. And in case if you want to make sure that 50 people sitting together in a room and not whispering or not chatting, or not trying to help each other, how you are going to control is that, like I said, by making them understand how critical the examination is. Second, by giving them warnings. Third, to force shut the assessment, the evaluation, by canceling their examination. So if they are very well made aware of the consequences, I believe, they are going to cooperate, and it is possible to conduct these examinations from the same location or room, like we do during our competitive exams, like just I mentioned, wherein in any college in India in particularly, you get your colleges or schools as your centers, and you're required to go there and sit in the same room and batch wise and go ahead with such assessments. You have your vestibules, different desktop setup and everything. So it is actually possible to do that. I will move to the next question. Will this be a chargeable feature? Yes, proctoring solution is going to be, on an add-on basis. So any organization that is going to require this will have to reach out to the project manager. You have to reach out to your customer success manager basically, and do let us know that you are interested in this. And then we will understand the requirement. We will make it much more curated according to your need, and then we are going to discuss on what is the pricing scope to be. I hope that answers. Next is admin can decide how many deviations can be allowed in any proctored assessments, maybe. All right. So this is Amol. So Amol, this to me sounds more like a suggestion than a question. But yes, admin can actually decide how many deviations can be. So, to give the exceptions, they can take the call, or admin/proctor can decide that. Where will this data be saved? This will be very well saved within your LMS memory, and you will also be able to, like I said, we fetch the reports on the same. So I think these are the responses to your questions. Do you have any more questions for us? I believe we are on the last leg of our towards the last leg of our meeting today. So what we can do is that, like I said, the challenge with the secure browser, in the same chat window, we are going to share across the tutorial video, a video recording of how this is going to look like on the platform. Any other questions if you have for me, we can, continue. You can ask me that. Okay, thank you, Preeti. Anybody else would like to comment? All right. So I'll take that as a no. So why should this matter to you? Why is this proctoring solution, relevant for you as an organization? Because it is, like I said, it's going to ensure the integrity in the certification assessments, that you have in place. It is going to reduce the manual supervision. So right now, in case if you are going ahead with the pen and paper method, or you, jump onto a virtual call, or a classroom, in a classroom or kind of a setting, and observing, playing a role of an invigilator, and others are writing those exams. Like I said, it requires a lot of manual supervision. It will have inconsistencies in the observations. So this is where your proctoring piece comes into the place. And AI-based alerts will help you, focus on the real red flags, and you will be, again and again brought back onto the brought back to the assessment, and you are asked to and reminded to pay attention and focus only on that. So that is something which is important. Then saves it also helps you save time in the automated reporting and documentation. So this is also one of the benefits of it. And it all in all, it's basically going to build trust in the outcome of your learning assessments, the programs that you're running across your organizations, to ensure that like I said, the sanctity of it is preserved, and you are able to make the right judgment, right call towards the end of it.